Hi, this is Lou from Glowing Pigs International. The last two tutorials we created an app that plays music as a service so that someone can go get their email or surf the web or go to another app, and the music that they've selected to play will continue to play in the background. Now, what we're going to do moving forward into the next tutorials is add some features to make this a better app. The first feature we want to add is to put a little notification up top here in the status bar. So when the service is running, a person will see a notification that that service is up there, and then when the service ends, when you press stop, that notification goes away. And I'm just going to demonstrate what this is going to look like once we're done coding. And there's not very much. This is going to be a short tutorial. So there we press play, and you see that that notification pops up and the music plays. And then when we want to stop it, we press that and the notification goes away because the service stopped. So that's what we're going to do in this next tutorial. Notifications, the first thing you have to do is set up a notification ID, because each notification has its own ID, and that way the system doesn't get confused as to which notification to put up there. So we're going to create a variable, and we'll plug it in there, and that's notification ID equals 1, and that will identify this particular notification. Now let's figure out, where do we want to put the notification? Well, when the service starts, see, we're in my place service right now. When the service starts, that's where we want to put it up. So it's the first thing in onStart command, and what we'll do is we will invoke the init notification method. Okay, now right now that has a red line because the method doesn't exist. We'll get to that in a minute. The next place we want to do something with a notification is when the service is ended, which is at the onDestroy point. So at the end of onDestroy here, we want to plug in something to cancel the notification. So we'll put in cancel notification method. And now let's put in those methods, and I'll show you exactly what happens. So down here we'll put in the create notification method, and before we do anything else, you notice we have all these red lines here. Those are we need to pull in some libraries, so we'll import the context library, notification manager library, the notification library, and the pending intent library. Now this is really you just have to follow this syntax and that it'll work for you. Basically what you're doing is you're creating a variable called ns, which pulls in notification underscore service, which helps when you, this is how you get the service going. You say notification manager, and I'm creating a new notification manager, and it's pulling in the service notification service ns, which is in that variable. This icon, okay, is the icon that's going to show up in that status area, and I'm just pulling in the icon for the app, which resides in the resource files here in the drawable icon.png. So that's what we're doing there. And then this is the ticker, is what's going to display up at the top of that status area. And then this is just saying when it's going to display, so that's the current time. And then we set all that up using the notification syntax here. And we're saying it's an ongoing event. That's what the flag says, and that means that, you know, the service is ongoing and the notification stays up until the service ends. These things down here are the details of the notification. And I'll show you what they look like once we demonstrate this in action again. It's really, you can pull down that icon and you'll see details. It will tell you exactly what information the notification is supposed to display. Then after that, it's just really it's an intent that pops up that notification, and then here we're saying what the notification ID is for it. So that's really it. So if you follow this syntax, it's pretty straightforward. And then to cancel the notification, we plug that in, and all it's doing is it's saying we're again identifying the notification service within this variable, and we're saying get that service and then cancel that particular notification ID, which is number 1, which we defined up top. So that's basically it. So just to review, we have to set the notification ID. When the service starts, we want to initialize and start the notification. When the service is destroyed, we want to cancel the notification. So just to show you again what we have here, when we execute this, there's the notification. Now I can pull that down, and you see it has additional information there. See? And that's the information that we added. And then when we stop it, it goes away. So the next tutorial, we're going to start dealing with things like what happens when you want to stream off the internet and you don't have a connection, or the server's down. These are things that we're going to trap, and we're going to also trap things like pulling the headphone out of the headphone jack and getting a phone call and interrupting your service, and then coming back with the music when the phone call ends. So those are things we're going to cover down the line, so keep your eye out and you'll see more things. I wanted to mention one last thing. I'm not sure I mentioned this in the earlier tutorials. In your manifest file, because we're streaming off the internet, you have to put this line in the manifest file. It says uses permission, and then the permission is internet, and that gives your phone, your app, authorization to go into the internet.